Ahoy hoy and welcome to Players and Book, a live D&D game where we play D&D. I'm the DM. These are the players. Katie, what do you got going on in your life?
This is a book.
Yep.
It's
First
Here
of
we
all,
go.
may the fourth be with you all. However
And
you
also with
choose
you.
to
And also with you.
celebrate. Um, have a wonderful evening, everybody. My name is Katie Downey, aka Goblin Katie. I am your friendly neighborhood shenanigator. Holy cow, hype train! Thank you for the hype train. Woohoo! Quick shout out, as always, to our wonderful mods, Strike, Red Kite, and Billith. You guys are wonderful. We appreciate you. Mwah. We have yes, it is Doctor Who, because the fourth Doctor was the best Doctor. So we have this awesome code that is granted to us from the wonderful folks at Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms. And you can turn this code in the game to get an Electrum chest, which will give you all sorts of neat loots for your characters. And our code for this week is Crop Funk Audle.
Can't stop the funk.
Can't stop the funk. It's the Grand Funk Railroad. The Grand Funk Shipyard. Something like that. Anyways, so yes, thank you so much for joining us this evening. I will be playing Tallulah O'Dragon. You might also hear her referred to as Manon. And she is a College of Eloquence Triton bard. And that's me.
I love how you're like, you might hear her referenced as one other name. In the back of my head, I'm like,
Oh, or Dominique.
Like-
There's a lot of names.
yeah. I mean, we left on a cliffhanger last week about your name, did we not? Did
Yeah.
we not?
Yeah.
But we'll hear more about that in a moment. Hi, everyone. I'm Lauren Urban. She, her. You can find out more about what I'm doing at lauren-urban.com. And tonight I'm playing Fairlos, the Tempest Cleric, who's going to be biting her tongue a lot because she's trying to be a good person.
Sorry.
Hello, I am Jen Kretschmer. You can find me on the interwebs as dreamwisp at .bisky.social, dreamwisp on most places, and dreamwisp Jen on Twitch. I am. We have one more week on the Humblewood 2 Kickstarter, so please check that out. I'm an author on that, and it's Humblewood 2 Beyond the Canopy. It's fun things. So that's
Super
exciting.
cute looking.
Go check it out. It's awesome. And tonight I will be playing your friendly neighborhood tsunami druid, Rivulet.
And I'm the DM. I'm the one that's supposed to do all of the other stuffs. I guess now I'm out of order. Let's do that. Oh right, credits. Yes, cartography by Shan Peku. Cartography by Shan Peku Sci-Fi. Maps by Luke Stratton. Maps by Eightfold Paper. Music by Tabletop Audio. Character tokens by Greek 46. Custom tokens by Shan Peku Tokens. Overlay art by Pax Stream. Custom world map by Freckles Sketches. And logo by Luke McCay, along with some character art. I have a game on Start Playing that you can find in the chat by typing in exclamation point CIM game. It's on Tuesdays. It's set in the same game world as this, and Katie Downey here, Goblin Katie, is one of our players.
Hey.
Things got really weird there for a second.
I'm having a moment.
Also, May the 4th be with you. Watch
And also with you.
Andor.
Yes.
Ooh, yeah.
Yes, watch Andor.
I gotta
so good.
start that again.
It's so good.
Guys, real quick, Lurking Rider, Buzz Lightyear, thank you so much for the gift subs.
Thank you all so much.
You.
That was so sweet. Thank you guys.
Also, as you can see, we are out one Latia Jakis, who is wonderful and we miss and will be back shortly. Definitely tell her on socials that she is awesome.
Please. All right.
This is episode 28 of Player and Book's first campaign, The Secondhand Souls. Previously on Players and Book, episode 27 was Pascal's Wager. She pictures the broken glass, she pictures the steam, she pictures a soul with no leak at the seams. Mercy Street, Peter Gabriel. So, wait, if the whole world is a simulation, then am I even real? Like, if I am real, do I start real and then become unreal at some point? Where's the dividing line? Like, if the souls are all some sort of creative driving force behind the entire universe, then what does that make me? I'm not creating. I'm just reciting lines being fed to me by somebody else. Like, when the person writes down the lines, there's a real person doing it. So in a sense, I'm real then, I guess, because it's his words, but afterwards they're just on the page not being read, and I stop existing until the game starts, and then I recite the lines, and then it goes up on Twitch, but it's only over there for like 2 weeks. I guess it's on YouTube forever, but does that make me alive forever? Or anyway, after the philosopher picks up and puts down a rock, the souls end up going into the palace. After some exploration, they end up at the center of the palace. There, they meet with the Duke Etienne Jameau and his war council. The souls explain that they've brought food and credit Captain Clayton for his help. Afterwards, the souls begin to discuss their potential place in the rebellion and how the poet's father has been captured. They're introduced to Johnny Jubilee, a Githrazi who is apparently some sort of wereperson, able to transform into a canine Gith hybrid at will. Johnny is hoping to get into the city of Brescia and help start a revolution, and the Duke is going to help. They want to use the poet to help with the plan, as she bears a striking resemblance to the crown princess. But the Duke interrupts to say that she doesn't just resemble the crown princess, she is the crown princess. It is 4:45 p.m. on Hunter's Day, the 25th of Dreams. The sun is still up and will be for quite some time. And look, I'm going to be honest, I'm still kind of processing everything. You're going to have to give me a minute.
Poor Jeff, the god of narration.
I really need to
Wait,
know.
Jeff is the god of pockets.
I mean, why not both? The
I thought Jeff
gods
was the
are-
god of
Jeff,
biscuits.
are they?
Jeff
is
is
it
biscuits.
One is a GEO. No. Literally, in my world, Jeff is the god of pockets. This is
Oh.
an established canon thing.
Nice.
So-
I mean, I feel like we know that gods can often have multiple domains. So why not
True.
the god of narration and pockets? You got to put your narration in a pocket at some point, right?
I cannot remember their name, but I know they go by both. Eddie Izzard,
Yes.
in Dress to
Susan.
Kill, had Jeff, the god of biscuits,
Yes.
Yeah.
which
Yes.
is a
But-
phenomenal stand-up if you've never seen it.
The
Anyways.
Duke has just
And politician now as well.
has
And
just
doing a one-woman Hamlet.
has just corrected. I believe it was Furlos who brought up what the question. I think you said was something along the lines of, "What are they going to do when they realize that Tallulah isn't the real princess?" And he said, "She is the real princess, the crown princess."
That's impossible. How could... I mean, I can understand looking like her, but I'm not that person. I grew up in the slums. I mean, if I was royalty, wouldn't they have taught me and trained me?
So things are sometimes more complex than they. Whew, okay. Your parentage is not wholly your understanding of your parentage is not wholly accurate. I do not believe that your father, the man you know as your father, is your true father, and that your mother is certainly the Empress of Brescia, and the current crown's princess is your twin sister. You do not you do not merely resemble her. You are twins. And more importantly, you were born first.
I believe there's a lot of explaining that needs to happen very quickly.
She just kind of
considering-
sinks.
Especially considering what you've asked us to do. I believe explanation of all of this needs to happen. Obviously, Tallulah does not know what is going on, so why don't you let us know what is going on?
What? Where is? How do you know this?
It was something your father told me as part of the intelligence that I was gathering. Um, he was meant to keep you safe. Um, uh, there is there was a risk to your life, and he was meant to keep you safe and
Does
secret from the Empress.
does she know?
She knows that she had two daughters, and that one was long ago kidnapped and gone.
Kidnapped.
Yes.
Who tried to kidnap me?
Well, make an insight check.
Okay.
I was about to say, I think they were successful in kidnapping you.
Let's see. 21.
He is definitely holding back. It's definitely holding back and very like he knows that he's got to have this conversation, but he is very much like not wanting to have this conversation with you at all. Like it's just not something he's wanted to talk about today for sure.
Okay. All right.
It is a complex situation.
So what is she gonna do if she finds out I'm alive?
Yes, I would imagine she would kill your father, and anyone who she believed to be guilty of infringing on her situation.
Why don't we back up a moment here? Who was threatening Tallulah's life? And I'm going to keep calling her Tallulah just to make sure that we're clear about who we're talking about. And you were the one who kidnapped her, I'm assuming.
To yes, because I am her real father, and she needed to be. Her mother was not allowing the children to be free. I tried to grab both of my children to protect them from her, and I was only able to grab one. And I knew if I raised them as my own, it would be readily apparent I am a very visible, well, was a very visible person in the court. So I placed her in the care of one of the kindest men I knew, Claude. And I checked in from time to time, but he raised her.
They know. We ran into some individuals from Russia. They know they know I'm alive.
That is news. How what happened?
We were on the Isle of Dream. On the Isle of Dreams, and oh, what was his name? The noble. I think it began with an F.
Moment.
I need to start taking notes again.
I've got it. I just need to go looking.
I have it. Give me 1 second.
Osmond.
Osman. Okay,
Osmond Roche
that's it.
of
Yeah,
House Roche.
Osman Roche was there. He called me
Osmond.
princess.
Osmond Roche. Well, I'm sorry you had to encounter that particular individual. He is both dangerous and ruthless, but mostly rude.
Very much. With him thinking I was her, though. He wasn't rude until he sent the sending.
Well,
After
of
he
course,
discovered.
he's bound to be wed to the crown princess, so I'm sure he was quite kind if he thought you were her.
Wait a minute, is it to the crown princess?
Well, to the current crown princess.
Okay, to my sister.
Yes, Malice.
Malice?
Yeah.
Great.
Always guaranteed to be a good person when your name is Malice.
Right, right. Real quick, as this part of the conversation has been happening, especially as the Duke has basically admitted that he was having
An affair with the Empress.
yeah, I would like to keep an eye on how everybody else is reacting to this, but especially Esme.
She does not seem surprised.
That's good to know. Does anyone else seem surprised?
I'd say make an insight check to give a sort of general sense of anybody being surprised. And let me just make
Sure.
sure I'm on the right. Trying to look up people's names. Give me one moment to look back at the actual map you guys are on to see who's actually present.
That's totally fair. Meanwhile, that's a natural 20 for a 26.
Nice.
Yeah.
Stephanie is not surprised. Corbin Fontaine, who has not said a word during this entire conversation from start to finish at this point, does look quite shocked. And Christine Saxton may be surprised, mostly entertained.
Okay. And can I know I don't know if he's still behind me, so can I manage to get a look at Mr. Jubilee, and is he surprised?
Yes,
Okay.
but not very.
Okay.
In fact, you rolled what? You said a 26? Yeah, you
Yeah.
got a natural 20. Rewarding natural 20s. Looks like he kind of figured something was going on in that general area of things, but didn't know the exact details.
Okay. And considering what his job is and what his job is supposed to be and what he's been doing, he's probably more concerned with figuring out how this changes his future plans. Of like, instead of having a pretender to pretend to be her, now he's got the real her.
Right.
So,
Well, yeah, you get the inclination again, natural 20. He probably got like an intelligence packet before he came out here, studied all of the information about all of the nobles and all these other stuff. Probably in looking at it, probably worked out that there was some shenanigans going on, but that he's not 100% sure of.
yeah.
That there used to be, twin princesses, and then one of them disappeared, and blah 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 blah. So that wasn't new, probably. That's new, that's probably public knowledge. You would imagine that's public knowledge. And yeah, he's like, oh, this does change things a little bit, but not by
Okay.
much.
And then one last question. The Duke. It makes sense for him to be like, I don't want to be having this discussion. Is it more, I don't want to be having this discussion right now, or I don't want to be having this discussion in front of all of these people?
Yes.
Okay. Because one of those things, as far as Fairlos is concerned, we don't have the time for his feelings.
Right. Yeah.
But if there's
And he's just ignoring it too. I mean, he's just uncomfortable, but he's still saying what he needs to say. But
yeah. But if he's talking in roundabouts, she might be more willing to like scoot people out of the room if that'll help, and then she might be willing to be more like start talking faster. So getting that read is helpful. Okay, thank you.
He doesn't. At this point, he's already said the part that he didn't want to say out loud.
Okay.
He just this seems like a touchy subject for him personally, I think.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of a thing, yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know what? It's he He had to have known that this was going to come up. He had to have known when you were
He's in
chat-
the end to find out part.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, of everybody here, he had to be the most aware that this was a likely scenario. And for him to be all uncomfortable, guess what? Yeah, he's got to deal with it.
Tough cookies.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Exactly. All right. Yeah. Fearless will thank you for all of that. Fearless will continue to be quiet.
Tallulah has just kind of sunk down and is sort of sitting crisscross applesauce on the floor, just in a daze.
Yeah, but as I'm making this, I'll making all these observations, I will just come and stand behind.
I have a whole damn family. Fuck. And she's just staring at the Duke.
Yes. Well, anyway.
So you knew where I was.
Yes.
And you never thought to tell me.
It seemed and he stops. And then he just says what he was gonna say anyway. It seemed an unnecessary complication.
I suppose it would when you had the luxury of knowing who your parents were.
I did keep an eye on you, but you're right to be angry. Provided for you in ways that
Don't
you probably
expect
didn't see.
gratitude.
No, no, that's the base level that you should expect from someone of my means. But
Was the end goal to ever tell her?
no, I'd like to say that it was, but no. Unfortunately,
What's the plan?
circumstances.
What's the
Yes.
plan?
Unfortunately, circumstances have changed my plans a little bit. My plan now is for you to go take your rightful place and do what needs to be done.
I don't think they're gonna take me marching up and claiming
No,
it well.
and that is why our friend there, Mr. Jubilee, will be assisting you in perhaps fomenting a rebellion based on your force of personality.
I do have a big personality.
Yes. And I will stay here and I will protect my people.
If we need to evacuate people, can we send them to you?
You can get them through the blockade.
All right.
I also have some means and some contacts. John there has most of the details.
What do you know about where they've got my dad?
That I am still working on, but I know that he is imprisoned in the dungeons beneath the castle.
Can magic reach in there? If I
So
cast
far,
sending, can I reach him?
So far, it does not seem to work. We have, and he sort of motions over to Stephanie. We have casters of our own, and they have not been able to reach him. And he stops himself again. There is a chance, I'm told, based on how that spell works, that he may no longer be living. But I do not believe that Claude would fall so easily. He has information she wants, I'm sure. Things involving you, perhaps. And he is a strong will. I do not believe he will give that information easily. And as long as he has that information, he should still be alive. But I do not know where he is. I am working on it, and as soon as I know, you will know. No matter where you are, we will have one of our people contact you.
This is a lot.
Yes. Yeah.
Captain, what do you think?
About which part?
Are you all willing to come with me?
I'm gonna walk around to face you. We were willing to come with you when we came here. We were willing to come with you before we knew who you really were. And that's because you were wrong about one thing. You already had a family.
All of this is just changing external information. None of it changes who you are. None of who you are has shifted because of this.
Well, the problem there is I don't even know who I am at this point. It's been a while.
Well, if I can get over it, then hopefully you can too. And Fairlos does kind of give you like a weird half smile at that.
Tallulah at the "if I can get over it" looks up with this kind of wait, what? Sort of look on her face, and she returns the smile. Rivulet, what do you think?
I said my piece already. I think this is all external. Rivulet, who is currently grappling with the fact that nothing in the world is real.
Yeah,
and
she's
hasn't
like
been able to
having
tell
this
anyone that
personal
yet.
existential crisis.
Yeah, not personal. It is a true global.
Oh, I'm just saying because it's personal in
existential-
that she's the only one who knows.
Oh yeah. So there's a bit of. It's not nihilism, but there is a little bit. It's a bit more casual in some ways
Mhm.
than a normal rivulet reaction to something this earth-shattering would
Yeah.
normally be.
Yeah.
It sort of is like, this changes nothing.
Yeah.
Let's.
Just okay. Keep moving.
I think we continue with what we were planning. I don't think this makes a much of a difference at all. I mean, it makes a difference, but in terms of the actual impact on what we were doing, it's not substantial.
There was something that was recovered, and I'm wondering
I
if
have
you
one
know
question,
anything
which
about
is
it.
why, how, Tallulah, you look very different from how you looked even
Mhm.
a few days ago. How is it that you are so closely resembling the Crown Princess?
I don't know.
And I look at the Duke.
She has the same bone structure and the same face that she had however many days ago she
Right.
was seen by you.
This is makeup. I can flatten out my hair and brush it.
I'm sure she looks sufficiently different than her twin, but at the same time, she is quite similar.
Okay, I felt like I thought then I had a misunderstanding of how different she looked from one look to the other. I thought it was a pretty much a completely almost a different person.
My understanding
appearance.
was that basically the bone structure is the same,
I took it
but
as
she
more of
did
a
like
it's
makeover.
just a
makeup
makeup
and
kit.
yeah.
I took it as more of like a makeover sort of deal.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Okay. Got
James
it.
Bond putting on a costume, putting on a fake mustache.
Okay,
doing,
Yeah.
so we're not
doing a
talking
different accent. Doing
I
fake
put on
names,
my
like-
Clark Kent glasses.
Got
exactly. Yeah.
it. Which,
but
by the way, works.
It works. It
Remind
does.
me at some point to tell that story, but not,
All right.
not right
Is it the Henry Cavill one?
No, it's an actual. I was at a convention with somebody, and they would
Oh.
put on the glasses and not get recognized, and take off the glasses and immediately get recognized, and it was
Nice.
That's funny.
unsettling.
Mhm.
And
But-
yeah,
All right.
What would you like to know, if anything? What questions can I answer for you?
There's so much information rattling around in my head right now. I don't even know where to start. How are we going to get into Brescia?
That was not something that I have plans for.
Right.
I assume you will have to figure that out
We'll
on
figure
your
it
end
out.
of things.
Right.
In fact, that is primarily you getting yourself and Johnny here into Russia is part of the your end of achievement, I suppose.
How many people know about this?
I suspect most people in power know of this at this point. Furlos, from I'm again rolling forward your insight check from earlier. When he says everybody, you get the sense that he is somewhat distrustful of Mr. Fontaine. At the very least, he doesn't expect that as soon as the idea is probably that as soon as Fontaine gets back home to his people, he's going to tell them all about it, and it's just going to be uncontrollable knowledge. spread
Wait a
about.
minute. He's a tiefling named Fontaine?
Yep.
Does he
We
bear a
bump-
resemblance to Monsieur de la Fontaine?
we talked about this, didn't we?
I thought
we
we
did.
did. Yeah.
We
Yeah,
did.
I don't remember.
yeah. There's a
I'm sorry.
relation.
Okay, thank you.
So, both Rivulet and Tallulah make history checks.
History. Absolutely not. That's a 4.
Fair.
I rolled a 2.
Mm,
I feel like Tallulah's a
8.
little distracted.
An 8. I'd say with an 8, you do know that the current House of Fontaine was originally a cadet house of the La Fontaines.
Okay. It's their farm
but-
league.
But they eventually replaced them in that particular realm of politics because the La Fontaines went, their house went extinct.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Okay.
But that's something that Rivulet you pick up with an 8 because that's pretty obvious history for these
got it.
people. But the only reason I had you two to make the checks is because you're from
Local.
local. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So, is Dominique here?
Yes, she is. She is currently overseeing one of the nearby dig sites.
I bet she loves that.
Yeah, she always had a passion for archaeology.
Yeah. So, even if we get in there and we do this, then what? I don't know how to run a kingdom.
That is allow me to say, you can do whatever it is that you want to do, but I believe my friend here, outside of seeing the independence of various individuals who are no longer wish to be under the imperial yoke, I you could do whatever it is you want to do. Serve as empress, serve as something else. Overthrow the empress and replace it with a. He like laughs as if this is ridiculous. A democratically elected legislature.
I glare at him.
I think
It,
that sounds like quite a nice idea, honestly.
I agree very much with that.
Me too.
No, nothing but temporary rulers where I come from.
I think that's a good way to do it. And since we have a certain item in our possession, technically we could, I suppose. Fuck.
Take
All
your
right.
time, Johnny.
What did he call me?
Joni.
Joni. Why does that sound so familiar?
It was your name before you were stolen away.
I turn to Furlos and Rivulet. There's another one to add to the list.
That's like, what, 4 now?
Yeah. I think it's at 4 now. What do we...
I mean, in the end, you can just go by all of them, and every day just pick a new one to be the one that's the first one.
Okay.
Rivulet keeps thinking she's doing this to herself. Like,
She has no one to blame but herself.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so...
your own fault.
All right, so...
No one to blame but you.
I am in a cage of my own making.
Mm-hmm.
You're in a
Assuming-
name of your own
I
making.
am in a name of my own making.
I'm assuming this is not something that we are attempting to do today.
No.
Good, because beyond giving you a little bit of time to reconcile with a lot of that information, I need to figure out what we're going to do with our ship while we're doing all of this. Also, I would appreciate maps, information about the castle, not just about where we might be able to find all of these prisoners, but we're also interested in finding the library for our own reasons.
Oh, of course.
Blueprints of the castle, perhaps.
It
And
may
if you have
not...
any over the years to see if passages have changed or things that might be there that have fallen off of maps.
I do have a map that includes several no longer functioning secret passages. But they are, all of my maps come from about 25 years ago. So they are mostly outdated.
It's
That's
a
fine.
start.
I know a few alleys and paths and things through the city.
With my mason's tools, I think I get some knowledge of how buildings work. I have to double check, but I'm pretty sure that that's part of that.
Okay.
I mean, considering the last time you did that, yeah.
Yeah, it's help with history, investigation, or perception involving stone structures, including traps within.
Oh, that'd be handy then, yeah.
Speak with
And
Castle.
then I do
It's
extra
really good.
damage to brick walls with weapon attacks. So maybe, or helping people steer toward weak points in
Gotcha.
stone.
Yeah.
If you, I mean, you asked for him. He's gonna go ahead and give you copies of the copies of the maps that he's made. You notice that there are, again, he says that the pathways are outdated, but there are secret passages to the Empress's uh quarters in the cat. Like, it's a big area. It's not just a bedroom. It's like there's other stuff in the Empress's quarters.
It's a whole series of chambers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got he's and of course, that makes sense that he would have a secret passage to the Empress's quarters
Yeah.
if he was, your father.
Giggity.
Yeah.
Mm.
Other than that, like that's the best he can give you in that regards. Most of his data is either outdated or unreliable, for lack of a better way to put it. His main contact in the castle was Claude, and Claude's been captured currently. So right now he has no contacts in the castle and no idea what's going on inside it. And it's hard for him to make new contacts considering he is in open rebellion.
Yeah, make it a little trickier. All right, so we get into Brescia. We need to find out where they're holding people. Because I'm thinking those folks are going to be within the castle walls, most likely. They'll be down in the dungeon, correct?
I would imagine so, yes.
They also won't need convincing, or at least very much convincing, to come fight on our side.
I'm just debating whether
I imagine once
I
you
don't know
release
that they'll
prisoners
be-
from the castle, that would be
they're not trained fighters.
that would be sort of a final step, I would imagine.
I think, honestly, what I was thinking is we let them out, and as they escape, they'll be pursued by guards. No one needs to stand and fight. They serve as a distraction to pull guards away for us to move through the castle. If they're not having to stand and fight.
Why does our DM look so cynical on that?
He's not the only one.
There's various people in the room are having various reactions to your plan.
Yeah.
For Furloughs.
Anyone who's openly looking like they are advocating for violence, Riv's got
it. Yeah, like
a look for them.
Yeah.
John's not like digging the idea of let's just release a bunch of prisoners and let them be a distraction, and if they die sort of stuff.
Yeah.
I don't think that's what we're saying.
That's not, no, yeah.
At all.
That's what it sounded like.
No,
to the room.
No.
That's what
Okay.
it sounded like to me.
Furlough's still
too.
thinking.
That was a bad
I think-
explanation then.
Mm-hmm. There were two things. There were two things it sounded like to me, which is why Fairlos was like, huh? One, we're letting a whole bunch of prisoners go be distractions for the guards. And two, what are we going to do being strike team alpha? And what are we doing? Because that sounded like...
Haven't gotten to that point yet.
Yeah, what
Let's just say
Fairlos
that
is worried
from what
about
you-
is the next thing you were going to say is, and then we're going to go kill the queen. Like, are we...
An unsteady silence has fallen on the room as I think people have misinterpreted what you've said.
No, I
Yeah.
think what Tallulah specifically was saying that the captives are all civilians who
Yes.
are not trained fighters. They're
Yes.
not
Mhm.
people who should be released to go about fighting their way out.
Yeah,
on
the
their
intent
own.
is not for anyone to fight. That's the whole point. The intent is for us to maneuver everybody in a way that no one has to take up arms against their countrymen.
Oh, okay. I wasn't quite sure what you meant by that.
No.
I'm just we don't know for sure who's kept beneath the cat, though that one imagines they would be in a bad way considering the situation they're in. I don't. I think it would make. I mean, it's just the four of you going. I would imagine there needs to be some level of support before. Sure, maybe I will be working with I'm going to be building support amongst the people.
Ah, I thought you were saying going to Brescia in general. You're saying going into
No.
the castle.
Yes. I mean, I might be available at that particular. I can't guarantee it. I've got to talk to my contacts. We're going to build up hopefully on the ground, some sort of resistance. They need direction. They're protesting and getting killed in the streets, and that's not okay.
It's not okay, but they also deserve a little bit of a win. And what better win than by having some of their countrymen who have been unjustly put into prison returned to them?
Well, as the Duke was saying, he doesn't really know where the prisoners are currently being kept. So I was thinking, if we can get enough support just to start with, perhaps somebody knows something
I can try reaching out to some of my contacts.
that could be helpful. I believe that what you're dealing with in Brescia right now is just a rebellion with no focus and no direction.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if we give it direction and we point it at the Empress, I believe that the natural
Chain of
flow
events.
of the natural flow of history will prove out, and freedom will prevail.
All right. Now the question is, what do we do with the Empress? Can she be banished?
I believe that will be something that you will have to decide when the time comes. That doesn't really.
What I'm asking is, are there individuals, if she's banished, who will continually try to place her back on the throne? Is she
Yes.
going to be a problem?
Sometimes revolutions succeed with the you are not as I understand it, there's no way you rise to the level of empress as long as the previous empress remains alive. There is no
Right.
banishment, there is no mechanisms for that. She is either alive and empress, or no longer alive and one of her daughters takes her place.
That's assuming that we're going with another empress, though.
Of course, if that is but if you are worried about the fact that there may be imperial holdouts who would rally behind, or even just use her as a puppet without her having any real control or power, that it's a very real possible issue.
I'm just looking at the long term. She would be a rallying point for her supporters.
To be fair, she's also your mother, so I would not deign to tell you what you should or shouldn't do, but I will say
She gave birth to me. She's not my mother.
Fair enough, but and he like looks over like kind of like he's judging the Duke a little bit. She wasn't exactly given much of a opportunity to be your mother.
She's not the kind of person that I would want to learn from.
Fair enough. I'm not trying to advocate for the
Happy family reunion.
Of the furtherance of an empire, but I don't feel personally qualified to judge your interpersonal relationships necessarily. What I'm saying is that revolutions are often violent. Freedom does sometimes come at a cost.
And this is a decision we don't necessarily have to make right now. The course of events and her own decisions may make that
decision for us.
Of course.
Exactly.
And this isn't my revolution. I'm just here to help. I'm of another, in fact, I can't even technically be here officially.
I didn't see you.
I'm just a dang old Lupinite, just trying to help out where I can.
Appreciate it. I don't even know how to think right now.
Well, maybe you get some rest.
Rest would be good.
Rest, and then
Captain Sexton,
Yes.
at some point, if you have a moment, we'd actually like to speak with you.
I have a moment now.
Excellent. Well, this is a bit of a private matter, so if you'll be willing
Of
to
course.
walk.
Absolutely.
Excellent. And I'm going to look over at Rivulet and Furlos and kind of jerk my head off to the side.
I'll look at everybody else and go, we'll return to our ship and make
Oh,
preparations.
I was inviting you to step off to talk with us.
Oh, yes, but I'm
Okay.
saying we should probably return to our ship, make sure
Everything's all right.
everything's all right and that it's secured in whatever way needs to be for us to be gone for a while, including our other, because Kara didn't come
Crewmate.
with us, right?
No, Kara didn't come. He was helping unload the food because
That's
he
what I thought.
decided to keep the ship invincible for the entire length of the spell. So someone needed to guide them up and down the gangplank.
Oh,
Or at least
yeah,
tell them
yeah.
where the
Yeah,
tell them where to get on the ship is at least.
Yeah.
that's what I seem to remember. So yeah, fill him on in what's going on and see if he has any ideas, and then we can kind of go from there. So and so I'll turn to everybody and say, we'll head back to the ship and take care of that. So, Captain Saxon, if you would like to join us for a walk.
Of course. And the Duke does speak up as you're leaving. Dominique did say she wanted to speak with you if you do have a free time today.
I can make time for her.
Uh, I'll be around if that's all right. I got a few things to finish up in town, a few things to collect together. I'm not entirely sure that you guys have agreed to anything yet. Would you be willing to transport me over to Brescia at the very least?
Us?
Yes, you.
Mm-hmm. This is the guy that's helping us, right? In the city?
Or potentially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can-
Absolutely. I wasn't sure if we were taking our ship, if we were doing something slightly more inconspicuous, but if that's what we decide to do, absolutely.
Well, from what I've seen of your ship in the harbor already, I think yours may be one of the least conspicuous ships out there.
Right now, that's probably true.
That's very true. Why don't you also come by the ship and we can make some decisions then?
All right. No,
Once you
I'll,
finish with what you
yeah.
got to get done.
Let me get my work finished up here, and then I'll do that. And he transforms back into his Gith form. Not that that's necessarily super important here.
I mean, be himself. He's allowed to walk around as he's going to have to walk around as a dog for a very long time. So I can understand wanting to walk around as himself for
Yeah.
a while.
So we want to move back to the ship.
Yeah,
Okay.
and kind of do a walk and talk with Saxton along the way, and
That's fair.
and then
As you're walking, you learn she doesn't have her ship here. However she got here did not involve her ship.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Captain Saxton. Big fan. Hi.
Yes, of course you are.
We were on the way here when we ran into Captain Clayton. You may have heard us mentioning it, and he seems very keen on trying to create something of a council of captains.
She immediately rolls her eyes at the mention of Clayton.
Right? He's a lot. He's a
Yes.
lot.
A lot, yes. And the last time we tried to get together to form an alliance, we were attacked by a giant fucking black dragon. So, you know.
Oh, wow. Okay. The
Sounds-
what's
so it
what's his name?
sounds so it sounds like with Sargaroth, the
Sargaroth.
Secret Keeper.
Yeah.
So it sounds like it was probably a very good idea that you were trying to get together if an entire black dragon was sent to stop you.
Mm.
I don't think it was necessarily. Well, yeah, I suppose it wasn't sent to stop us as much as I think it just saw an opportunity. And then, of course, almost all of our fleets lost ships to it, both in the sense that they were sunk and also decided to join it.
What?
Yes, apparently they didn't like the idea of being melted alive by a black dragon and thought that the best option would be to serve him.
Well, I suppose that is a choice that one could make if they wanted to make a bad choice.
So I tend to agree. So I believe Clayton lost the most of his fleet, but we all lost a sizable portion of our fleets.
So are you interested in taking over the fleet?
Well, I'm going to, yes.
Excellent. All right, I was curious. I was just wondering what your intention was. I was surprised that he seemed so gung-ho for a council.
Yes, well, he's not a real pirate, is he?
He's very flashy. He's a flashy
Well, there's nothing wrong with
showboater.
there's nothing wrong with the flashiness.
Oh no,
of
I do love some
showboating.
flash, but
Presentation is all that matters for our job. But
you have to sell the sizzle.
sure, yes. But his problem is that he does not. I mean, he stops. I've heard the rumors. He stops ships and gives them things.
It's kind of
The opposite of
opposite
piracy.
of what you- yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Yes.
right. Huh. That's very generous of him, I suppose.
Yes,
But-
well, I do not see how he can keep mouths fed whilst doing so. Even I, who have a blood vendetta against the Brescian Navy, still need to sometimes take civilian transports in order to provide for my people not to starve or die.
So then he's definitely getting something more than a warm, fuzzy feeling out of it. I wonder if he's got some sort of ability to scry through the items that he gives people.
I did not think so, but possibly. I was his as he told us, he said it is better to make friends than enemies. He seems to believe that wholeheartedly and all of the time.
That's fair, but not what I would expect from someone engaging in piracy.
Well,
Yes.
considering he's able to keep his people fed and happy,
Oh,
I think
having a
proof-
patron will do that.
having a friend will do that.
Yeah. All right. Well, I was just curious what your thoughts were. I personally, I think you would be the prime person to be managing things. But I'll look forward to seeing that conversation take place if I'm lucky.
Yes, well, I think it is a problem for the future, as long as the Brescian Navy and the Dwarven Navy and all of the navies are here in these waters are, and there's a black fuck off dragon flying around with its
Right.
own navy. I feel there are things that need to be concluded. Yes, before we can. Yes.
Is that dragon still calling the Isle of Dreams its Leia?
Yes, it is basing the piracy is being based out of the Isle of Dreams. Yes.
And the ships and the people that have sworn to it are continuing to be pirates.
Yes, as far as I know, including I believe he has taken a flagship of his own. I don't know the name of it yet, but
I know we did some like little bits of research into Sargaroth, and he's old enough that he's from the
I
Kasari
think
Empire.
I got a
and-
crit on a history check
yeah,
on
he
him.
was
It something
he was
like
a
that.
finance
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah.
In fact,
Yeah.
his final job, he was actually working as a regulator, but the natural 20 of for history got you the information that he was a very corrupt financial regulator.
Still going from going from pencil pusher to pirate does seem like a weird jump. Maybe to me, I don't know. And then also just all of a sudden,
If it helps contextualize it, I mean, it has been 1,000 years since he was doing that.
yeah. But still, the timing on this. Actually, Ferris will just say this out loud. The timing on all this seems incredibly suspicious.
Yes, it is almost
I
as
don't know.
if
It usually goes the other way. You're pirate first, and then you start.
Then you go
doing
legit, yeah.
crypto. Yeah.
And you see it in the crypto.
it does seem to me as though circumstances have come together to produce a very particular what's the word narrative story that is currently functioning. If the wars all at once, the pirates all at once, it's too much.
And Ferlos tries to just keep going, but I'm sure Riv and Tallulah can tell that it's
Killing her.
that doesn't sit well. I agree, which is why I'm suspicious about this dragon just showing up right when the three of you decided to get together. It doesn't seem like it was a coincidence. I think you're right that this is probably something to take place after what's going on here in Brescia. But I will say that Captain Clayton was still interested in meeting with you and the other captain and continuing those negotiations. And whether you are the one taking the lead in that or not, I do think it's worth it for the three of you to get together again, if only for the fact that if a big fuck all dragon is being sent to disrupt it, then you must have been doing something right.
It's Phil. I've been thinking about having one of my wizards, or perhaps my bard, cast legend lore to find out more about this Sogoroth creature.
Probably
I
not a
think
bad
that's
idea.
an excellent choice.
We did not have his name until now.
Sargroth.
Sogoroth, you said secret keeper?
He is, according to what we've been able to figure out, very, very old.
He was the financier for the Kasari Empire.
Interesting. Yes. Well, I will and I guess when I eventually get back to my ship, I'm not entirely sure. I bought this, and she holds up a scroll.
Mm-hmm.
I bought this, and I was going to take it back to my ship to allow my I believe my bard to cast legend lore on Sogoroth, or at least the Black Dragon. Now that we have a name, it should make it a little easier. But I'm not known for being patient. Is it possible that one of you could?
Well, it just so happens that I am a bard.
Interesting.
If you'd like, I can cast it.
Are we at our ship?
I believe
Have we
so.
reached our ship?
You are yes, I'd say, but at this point you can say you're at the ship.
Okay.
Um,
if
which is now visible.
Yeah. If you'd like to do this, I will be more than happy to invite you onto our ship where we can do this in some relative safety.
Yes, I think that might be a good idea.
I think this is information we could all learn from.
Mm.
Also,
I mean, I'm wondering if legend lore is. Hang on, I have to look at this spell.
well, I'm also wondering if giving it to Kara means we can all
Would actually be better for Kara, because Kara's
Okay.
of a high enough level. I
Yeah,
believe,
that's what to
yeah.
add to spellbook situation.
Mhm.
Well, on
Well,
top
no,
of that,
there's
Yeah, he can do the thing in where
limitations.
we can all learn the thing at the same time, and
Right.
and being a wizard, he's got better
Yeah.
because when you're casting stuff off of scrolls, there's a roll you got to do,
Yep.
which is
Yeah.
why as a cleric, I'm like, I'm not, nope, nope,
Yep.
nope. I'm not.
No, I was only offering because she got it for a bard. So
Yeah, but so yeah,
Yeah.
I'll mention we actually have a very competent, more than competent, a highly skilled uh di- divination
mage.
wizard on our
Ah,
ship
well,
who
that would be a better option, I
Mm.
think. Less chance involved.
exactly. So that's one of the other reasons I figured if you feel comfortable doing this on our ship, it will be safer and it will most likely work better.
Yes. You guys arrive at the ship. Let's go
Mhm.
ahead and say we can take our break now
Okay. Okay.
and come back at past.
Half past. Okie
Yep.
dokie.
Yeah.
Give
let's
me
do that.
just a moment to
Alright.
get this stuff set up. Let's see.
And
half
yeah, because
past.
if you're not a high enough level, it's a 5th level spell. If you're not
Oh.
if you're not at the level, you have to roll for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think it's an intelligence roll.
Oh yeah,
I-
that's not my
it's-
forte.
I think it's going to be your spell casting modifier, whatever.
Oh,
it
then
is.
it'd be
I think.
okay.
Oh, they
Um,
might have changed it in
Oh
2024.
no, it's just okay. You must make an ability check using your spell casting ability. So it's whatever stat your spell casting
Yeah.
ability is.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, it's whether it's a scroll or a spell scroll. They're two different things now.
Yeah, that's a little
They,
thing too.
they've
Oh.
delineated one is a certain.
Okay.
Yeah, they're
I just
different.
remember it used to be it was a different kind of thing. You
Yeah.
had to do an intelligence check. I mean, yeah, Goblin was there when it was just like, here you go, Orkira, go ahead and cast this. And I realized what it was and went, here you go, Finley. Why don't you cast this wizard with an intelligence score? Go do
Wizard
that.
with the 20 intelligence, you take it.
Please, wizard with intelligence. Don't give this to the cleric with no intelligence.
Alrighty. Well, we are set to go to break. We will be back at past, and yeah, we'll see y'all then. Oh wait, I should push the actual button instead of just clicking it. Yeah,
Push
that
the button to live.
I'm pushing.
How dare?
How dare. Thank you for letting us know, Fuel. Okay, go on. You can start over.
Crediting. Gosh darn it. Cartography by Shay and Peku. Cartography by Shay and Peku Sci-Fi. Maps by Luke Stratton. Maps by Eightfold Paper. Music by Tabletop Audio. Character tokens by Greek 46. Custom tokens by Shay and Peku Tokens. Overlay art by Pack Stream. Custom world map by Frecklesketches. Logo and character art by Luke McCay. And we are Players and Book.
Hey.
Yay!
Live D&D game with some of the best players in the world.
And one of the best
Um,
DMs in the world. And we're
Uh-huh.
not muted.
And yeah,
And not in
so
studio mode.
you guys, let's move you to the ship, actually.
And we're on the ship.
Yay.
It's gonna look like you guys are out in the middle of the ocean, but I promise you, you're actually in the river next to the island.
It's all an illusion.
Doop-a-doop-boo.
No, well, let's get rid of that character from the last time this
Yeah,
map was
yeah.
Kasdan, what are you doing here?
being
Surprise! This is an intervention with all the pirates.
Mhm. Oh,
used.
that's interesting. Okay, it just randomly closed the transcript.
How dare!
How dare indeed. There we go.
Go on break and everything decides to break.
I know,
That's
what
not
the
how
crap?
breaks are supposed to work.
It's not go on break, it's go on break.
Exactly.
Let's go on
It is
shatter.
go
We went on
Go on
shatter.
pause. On pause, as the
Right.
French would say.
Reminded me
Oh
of
my goodness
uh,
gracious.
All right. So you're on your ship. Christine is here. She has, in fact, passed along the. She seems, if you guys are okay with it, she seems fine with waiting 10 hours if he wants to copy the
Yeah.
spell over to a spell book.
Oh, she's
Definitely.
okay with it. Then yeah,
Yeah.
we'll invite her for breakfast the next day.
Fair enough.
I will invite her back to the ship for breakfast and a legend lore.
It's fair enough.
That'll also
do
give
you-
us time to let
Yeah.
Karen know what's going on.
Mhm.
Yeah. So what's
So
Why
it's
am
a
I-
long rest then, yeah?
if you want it to be? Yeah, a long rest.
Mm.
It is like I don't know what time was it? Like 8. Sorry, it's 5 o'clock at p.m. roughly.
Mhm.
Maybe 6 at latest. You guys could probably take a long rest and have a little bit later and have some time to do stuff before the long rest, so that you get up at a reasonable time in the morning.
Mhm.
Yeah, at the very least, talk with Kara about kind of fill them in on everything that happened and find out what, because it sounds like. So yes, we have filled them in on everything that has happened, and then to make that easy, and then go. So it's sounding like they're going to want to take our ship over to Brescia. And we're probably going to want to avail ourselves of your ability to keep this ship invisible, which means
Right.
we'd be asking you then to take the ship back. Are you okay with that?
Sure. Do you guys you guys you guys you guys have a plan for how to get down to Brescia?
What's typically the means of travel from the surface to the city?
There is a surface port so here's the deal. Under normal circumstances, there's a surface port that has something akin to an elevator,
Okay.
a bell, really, that drops people down.
Mhm.
However, in order to go through that, you would be definitely searched
Yeah.
and cataloged and checked against records.
Right. Do I know of any like back road
For sure. Yeah,
organizations that I can contact to get us smuggled into the city?
That's possible too.
Okay.
There are
Or do I know of any like entrances that aren't patrolled to the same degree?
if you had a ship that could go underwater,
Mm-hmm.
that would simplify things considerably.
Okay.
getting everyone down to the bottom of the ocean is going to be the difficult part.
Right.
You know, plenty of ways in and out of the city.
Yeah. There are a couple different ways that we could try to enter the city. I would not recommend we go through the main port, the main gate. There are a couple that might still be viable. They were a few years ago when I was here. Now, if we could get our hands on a submersible ship, like maybe calling in a favor and getting our ship able to travel underwater. Or was the thought?
Wow, that would be so you'd have a ship that's as strong, that has a hull as strong as steel,
Mm-hmm.
is faster than any other ship of its size, even though it's one of the fastest possible ships for its size.
Mm-hmm.
Can go invisible and can go underwater.
And can
A
talk to
hull
us.
as fast, a hull as strong as steel, a ship as fast as wind. And da, 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 da.
That seems
I lost the rest of them.
and that
Oh,
I
that
that's
can
okay.
come up with a fast
that
path.
seems like a really, really, really good idea.
I mean, it seems like that's something that one of them would be able to do. It doesn't seem
Sure.
to be too big of an ask.
I never asked you what were the terms of your your favors and stuff? Like what was the whole deal?
We did a favor for an archfey, and in
Right.
return, he offered each of us a unnamed favor.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
And then we ran into a second archfey who is willing to give us a favor if one of us calls in our favor with the
Wow.
archfey. Very long, confusing story.
Specifically, she wants to be around when we call in our favor.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And she'll
They-
give us a
Oh.
favor for doing that.
You know what would be really funny? Is if you called in your archfey pirate friend
Mm-hmm.
while you were here on this island,
Mm-hmm.
and then she'd have to blast through all of the Reshian ships outside.
I feel like she might not appreciate that, though. Actually, no, she might. She might appreciate that even more.
I would assume both of these fake creatures have a teleportation.
Hmm.
That neither of them are coming with a ship. That both of them are coming by themselves. I don't know.
To
Maybe
be
I was
clear, he doesn't know this, so you could still tell him that.
Mhm.
But you were told by her that she would sail to you.
Oh, okay. Lauren has forgotten that. then.
Katie did too.
Yeah, Lauren and I guess Fairlos then would know better, but Lauren was picturing a teleport,
Mm.
like okay.
Because she went out to do a little bit of piracy. She said she'd sail to you when you guys basically messaged her. Because I think she gave you the ability to contact her at least once to let her know that you're
Mhm.
ready for the thing.
She did, yeah.
Yeah.
Or no, she didn't need to give us the ability to because I was going to cast sending to call her.
Yeah, we
that was
both
it.
have
That was it.
Yeah.
yeah, we both have sending.
Mm-hmm.
So
All right,
What-
so
well, if is this the favor that we want to do the chain reaction favor on, or do we want to hold off on the chain reaction favor?
I figure it'd be good to get that chain reaction favor out of the way.
Then
I mean, it doesn't
maybe-
really make a difference either way.
I honestly don't know, but it's probably worth it then to ask our unnamed captain ahead of time
All right.
if she's able to come incognito or just by herself or however the Fae do it, or if it would be better if we did this at a different time since we are currently in a rather inaccessible location that I would understand would be difficult to come to.
Hmm.
I think it's only fair for us to give her that heads up.
I think you're right. I think you're right.
You want to give us sending to ask?
Yep. All right. No, do
We'll
I don't
assume
have
this
to
is
worry about a
before the
name
long rest.
because I have met her and she's familiar to me.
Yeah, this is And
Okay.
again, we'll assume this is before the long rest, so you get your spell
Oh,
slots
thank
back.
you. Yeah, that'd be great. All right.
Yeah, because we're having this discussion with him.
Yeah.
So basically, we're going to say we can call in the favor now, if you'd like. But how do we want to phrase the but then?
As honestly as possible in 25 words or less. But I'll say that as Fairless. As succinctly and honestly as possible.
But where we are is very dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
But where we are would be dangerous to come to with an entire ship.
That seems like it then.
And then either you can do another send-in or I can send a send-in to provide more information.
Let me count here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23.
This has been my life lately. I have something where I have to be under certain number of words for part of it, and then under a certain number of characters for more of it. And I set up a Excel spreadsheet that has a word and character count, so I can just auto.
If I was smart, I would have typed it into Word, so I'd have an automatic
Yeah, if you
word
just
count.
if you have
but-
any word processing document open, you can just word count it.
Yeah, I just threw it in
Yeah.
Notepad because it was the most easily accessible. All right, so how does this sound? We can call in the favor now if you'd like. However, it would mean you would need to travel through the Brescian blockade.
I would change the to
A. All right.
Yeah, considering I believe she knows that
We have
yeah.
several.
So she does not necessarily have to come to this one if she feels uncomfortable. But
Mhm.
otherwise, I think that is a good. I think that works.
All right.
Is that what you want to send?
Yep, I cast sending and say, we can call in the favor now if you'd like. However, it would mean you would need to travel through a Brescian blockade.
No problem. I'll blow up as many ships as I need to. Be there in about 20 hours.
She'll be here in about 20 hours. She's going to take out as many ships as she needs to.
Well, we should probably let a bunch of people know so they could take advantage of this because they might as well. 20 hours. Okay. So about noon tomorrow. Okay, let's tomorrow morning. Well, we should probably tell a couple people tonight.
I would let them know tonight because there may be folks they need to pull in from sea.
Just be clear, it'd probably be closer to about 4 p.m. It's
Okay.
about, I'm going to say it's about 8 now before you get right around.
Oh, okay.
Just before you guys go to bed ish.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, then yeah, I'd probably jump on with you and start casting some sendings and start letting some people know that there's going to be a fade distraction happening in 20 hours and a very large amount of the blockade is going to get destroyed if anyone would like to use that as a distraction for something. For planning purposes, because who knows? I think it's probably worth, at the very least, telling Johnny Jubilee and the Duke.
You tell them in person, but yes.
Oh, I was gonna like send them now. I was gonna do a sending like now.
Oh, okay. You can do that if
Yeah.
that's what you want. Yeah.
Yeah, because I got the sense. So if it's 8 o'clock now, and we're just kind of figuring all of this out, I figured we'll do ascending. Let them know
Can
like
I
ASAP. Yeah.
can I offer something that your character would almost certainly think of in this moment?
Yeah. Sure.
Your brother is also heading out in this general direction.
Oh.
That's true. He was also going to run the blockade. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I can do sending more than once.
Yeah, so sorry if that was just was like, I bet your character would probably think of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and he I can get on the sending stone.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So yes. Yeah, I figure we let a couple of those folks know now just so they have the maximum amount of time to plan.
All right.
And then yeah, I'd like to let my brother know in case he'd like to take advantage of it. Maybe we let Captain Clayton know. Maybe we just let a whole bunch of people know. Let it be a whole big scrum. Why not?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, there's gonna be a battle tomorrow, like a big ass battle, isn't there?
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be kind of a disaster and a half, and I'm not upset by that.
Yeah. It's gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
All right.
So yeah, I will I'll send to Johnny Jubilee and to my brother. And 25 words or less.
I mean, you're sending to your brother. You can have an actual message. The rest of the guys can just be sort of general. They're not going to really respond back anyway.
Mm-hmm.
You've what you want to communicate is pretty simple.
That's true. Yeah. Although with sending, they can respond. I'm
Yeah.
only doing it as sending mostly just so that we don't
Sure.
have to be running all around at 8 o'clock at night. But yeah, that's the idea is just let them
Yeah.
know.
But if you want to let your brother know, and craft that message so that he will respond back for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the other guys are going to respond back, but it's mostly going to be like, okay.
Good to know. Yeah. Um. Brother, tomorrow around 4 p.m. One word? 4 p.m. 2 words? 4 p.m.
I think that's 2 words.
Okay. A very large distraction and battle with the Brescian blockade is going to happen. Take advantage, but be careful.
Can do. We got boarded by pirates,
Of course he did.
but
How many of them are dead?
they let us go, and their ship is heading in your direction now. We'll follow.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I have concerns.
Okay, so that was the sending stone. I'm gonna use a spell slot.
Open chat.
Yeah. But before I actually cast it, you will watch Fairlose like go through hearing the response, and to out loud she'll be like, "How many of them are dead?" Hmm?
Oh, that doesn't sound good.
Which pirates boarded you? Why are they coming here? What did they take from you? Do I need to be mad at them or grateful?
I didn't catch her name. No one is hurt.
That should come first.
She seemed disappointed when she found out we were carrying food.
Hmm.
You stay mad.
That's such a sibling moment.
He knows me very well. Man, I should have asked when this happened, but you know what? It doesn't matter. Well, my brother's okay. He's probably going to take advantage of the blockade. We might even be seeing him because he's got some food too.
All right then.
He also might be hanging out with the captain with no name. It might be a party tomorrow for all we know.
Oh, fun.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have any concerns about unnecessary death? About people being murdered
Absolutely.
while the captain tries to reach us?
Uh,
I certainly do. But
I do as well, except in this case, because she is going to be breaking through a blockade, these are all people who are members of the military. There should not be any civilians, innocents who are in the way. That does not mean that that we are being cavalier about the deaths, but it does. I'm pretty positive no one on those ships are civilians.
Also, I'm pretty sure everyone on those ships is participating in a blockade against a civilian target to starve them out.
That too. But it is always good to think about that kind of thing.
even so, unnecessary death. eh, Life is life, you know?
Well, hopefully they'll see a very
Even enemy
powerful-
life has value.
Absolutely.
Might as well not kill as many people as you can avoid killing.
Hopefully they will see a very powerful, very scary fey captain and their ship coming in their direction and decide to disengage.
Now I'm wondering what levels of, like, what the planes mean in the new scheme of reality that I understand. Damn you, Sim.
Oh, that was not okay. I thought that was Riv
No,
talking.
sorry. I mean, no, that's Jen thinking.
Okay.
It's Jen being Riv's thoughts.
Oh, that's okay.
Well, if you guys want to take your long rest, wake up in the morning, and Cara D has been working on copying the spell down all night, and he is
Aw.
basically going to finish right around the time you guys wake up.
Yay.
And then we'll watch over him while he takes a long rest because
Mhm.
Captain Saxon isn't going to come by until no, she come by in the morning, so he'll cast
Yeah,
the
she-
spell and then
yeah,
he'll go
he'll
take a
probably
nap.
take a nap afterwards.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you guys want to sit around, he will cast a spell and then he will put his own little spin on it to allow everyone else to basically hear the legend lore all at the same time.
I would
Absolutely.
love to listen in.
We'll also give when Christine Saxon shows up, we'll give her the heads up about what's going to happen in the evening.
Good call.
She takes a moment to cast a sending of her own
Fair enough.
once she's informed of that.
Mhm.
And so the legend lore is cast. So he sits down and he begins the casting of the spell. He actually had to go buy additional ingredients for the spell legend lore specifically.
No.
Oh.
He had to get incense worth at least 250 gold, and then 4 ivory strips worth 50 gold pieces each, which means he was at least carrying 450 gold on him at least that much gold on him.
Yeah.
But he then begins casting. It takes about 10 minutes. He sits down. He knows the name Sargaroth Secret Keeper. Is a black dragon. So he's got a decent and also that he was a finance bro in the Kasari Empire. So the more information you have already, the more detailed the information you get can be.
One of us can also probably like minor illusion a picture of
That's
the
helpful
dragon
too.
with the little pince nez, because how many black dragons with a pince nez are there really out there in
Yeah.
the world? She says thinking of 5 more with Ponce. Sorry.
And the voice of the narrator comes in. Long ago, when the idea of debt was young, Sogoroth became a pioneer in the construction of collateralized debt obligations and the packaging of those same CBOs. He spent decades working through the fallout of the first Kasari financial crisis that resulted after home prices collapsed. He did not learn his lesson and spent the next 6,000 years steering the Kasari financial sector through disaster after disaster, though these corrections, as they became known, were understood to be inevitable and unavoidable. Towards the end of the Kasari Empire, Sogoroth acquired the epithet Secret Keeper as he became aware of a new type of currency that didn't belong to any centralized bank, called crypto by the necromancers who invented it. This new currency was able to be held in small hard drives and computers. Sargoroth, for his part, didn't quite understand computers yet, but he knew they held great power and wealth. So he placed his entire and appreciable net worth in the crypto market that he was actually supposed to help regulate. He felt quite smug when the Kasari Empire fell apart and the central bank's promises were broken. With normal currency now valueless, he spent the next 1,000 years getting up every morning, putting on his glasses, and checking his crypto balance. Until 2 weeks ago, when something interrupted the power to his computer, and the whole system crashed. Unable to fix it himself, he left his otherwise empty lair and began to search for a new source of treasure. He founded a new lair on the Isle of Dreams, and he is now asserting his control over the pirates in the area to bring him more treasure.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what kind of treasure?
That's as much as you get out of the legend lore, because it brings it up to current day.
Mm.
Also, too real. Too real.
Mhm.
Sogoroth, how dare you?
Sir.
Not really. That's just delightful. I look forward to fighting a crypto bro.
I'll throw
I
that
am
in chat, but I need to spell
dying.
check it because I just had to put that together pretty quickly. I'll put it in
Yay.
chat afterwards once I spell check it and grammar check it because there's actually I spotted a couple of snakes while I was reading.
Mm.
Well, that's what you get.
Mm.
Lauren, you're muted.
So that was disconcerting.
Just a bit.
I was not expecting to hear someone narrate it to me in my head, but I guess I've never used that spell before, so I don't know what I was expecting. He's looking for a new source of wealth, so he's not trying to find a power source to get his computer back running. So I don't suppose trying to fix his crypto computer would be anything he's interested in.
Maybe. I got the same information you did. It seems like he doesn't understand how computers work.
Well, he and I are the same.
So, what does he want? Like, I understand he's trying to find a new source of wealth, but a new hoard to focus on, but what kind of stuff does he like? Maybe we could get him on our side.
I mean, from that description, it seems like he just likes money.
Very straightforward.
All money or just the crypto?
Doesn't actually sound like crypto was real money. I mean, to the extent that any money is actually money because we just are imbuing a
We just
random
decide that it's worth
item
something, right? Yeah.
with
Mm.
value. But crypto seems particularly unstable. and imaginary.
I
Mhm.
don't think
Well-
I would want to use a, a I don't think I would want to use something that was to pay for things that was created by necromancers.
Right?
No, and decentralized in
Yeah.
that way. No, seems unstable.
Well, and at this point, it's moot because it's gone. If he can't make this computer thing work anymore, then,
But if he
it.
tries to replicate that idea with something else that is that he imbues with value and then tries to monopolize the market with that
Mm.
thing and
But
then
the
crashes whatever other system of value existed.
well, belief makes things real. If he believes that something has value, then it has value.
Mhm.
He could also, after sitting in his lair for so long looking at a little computer screen and then having it all go away, maybe he has, I don't want to say reverted, but maybe the backlash is he's gone back to the simplest form of currency and he really is just looking for some gold.
Mhm.
That which would still abide by what you are saying. If he hoards enough of it, then he is able to control markets with currency simply by flooding a market with the currency that you have. You can control all sorts of things. So maybe that's he's just trying to do the same thing he was doing with the Kasari Empire, just with whatever currency we've got here. Either way, it sucks.
Mhm. So what do we do now?
Well, I think, like we said before, I think he's a problem that we have to wait to take care of until another day.
Mm.
That's not a. I don't know about you. I don't quite feel like taking on a dragon just yet.
Not quite.
We
no.
will have to deal with him because we're gonna have to get back into onto that island eventually, or at least I am.
Well, I can say with some regard for the information I have just gathered, I do not like the idea of a 6,000-year-old dragon. Oh, I'm sorry, 7,000-year-old dragon. Controlling pirate fleets in the way that he is attempting to control them. So I believe I will, in fact, put aside my distaste for the other pirate captains and perhaps talk about forming an alliance to fight this dragon man.
I think that is.
Also, oh, sorry, go ahead.
I think that is a good idea. Also, keep us informed when you are ready to make your move. If we are able to, we will join you because, like I said, I have a vested interest in being able to have access to that island again. Riv?
Well, a 7,000-year-old dragon might be using archaic tactics, mightn't they?
Seems like.
Maybe, but if we don't know the tactics because
True.
they've been lost to the ages, then everything old is new again.
True.
Also, I can't help but be worried that somehow he's trying to turn pieces of gold into somehow undead zombies. Something tells me that that's if there's necromancers and crypto things. I don't want to be smiting gold. That just feels weird, and not because I like gold. It just feels weird.
Agreed.
I mean, undead are bad enough, and then you turn an object into an undead. Maybe I'm just jumping to assumptions, but that was the first thing I thought of was little tiny pieces of gold with like little tiny undead legs and little tiny undead arms, and a whole horde of them, which is terrifying.
You have
Yes,
a
you do
very
have
interesting brain.
yes, you have a terrifying imagination.
Well, I read a lot of books about monsters.
She does.
No, that's fair.
true.
I think yeah. I mean, what was crypto,
That I don't know.
It sounds like it was nothing.
right? Yeah, I might I might actually see if I can cast something that gives me more information on what crypto was.
Mhm.
We'll see how that works out, I guess. I don't think I want to cast this again. This is kind of expensive. But I got some other ways that I could possibly find some information. So
Again, we've established though that money is imaginary. So does spell cost actually have value if money
well,
is
I'll tell you when I was coming up as a mage, one thing my professors used to always say is not that money was imaginary, but everything is imaginary.
I don't think they were very far off.
What makes you
That sounds
Just in a
terrifying.
mood today.
Kara, I will say, thank you for fronting the money for that. And if you do need us to reimburse you for that in any way, or if we do ask you to spend money on casting that
Oh no, I
again.
stole a whole bunch of money from the captain
Oh,
of
good
the
job.
last ship I was on. So
Good job.
Well,
Okay.
and that doesn't consume those components other than the incense, right?
the incense, the 250 gold of
Okay.
incense is
Yeah.
consumed.
Which is a lot of incense. Or
Mhm.
just very expensive.
Very expensive incense. It's like it's just a sprinkle, but it's the most expensive incense.
It's
Yeah.
like a tiny ambergris cone.
Yep.
You're
Tiny,
basically
tiny.
getting saffron incense is effectively what's happening.
Well, but yeah, the next time we're more than happy to help with that. My suggestion is don't look more into crypto because at the end of the day, it seems to have done a very, very ancient dragon dirty.
It does seem to have done him a disservice.
So unless
I
we
would argue it's the other way around, and the dragon did a great disservice because didn't he destabilize the entire market for the sake of this imaginary
That's
currency
true.
of
Yeah.
which he created the value?
and
You are
then
not
That seems like a
incorrect.
disservice to me, but
that also well, you know what? There can be blame all around. So I feel like yeah, I don't know if we want to recreate or learn more to recreate the folly of this dragon unless for some reason we believe it's a way to stop him, which at this point I don't think it is
Mm-mm.
because I feel like that's not what he's doing anymore, but we can try to find out.
I mean, here's
Oh my god, I just had a great idea.
Hmm.
I'm gonna see if I can divine it. But the legend lore said he had a lair that he abandoned.
mm-hmm.
And
I
in
sure
that
did.
lair was his computer or whatever the thing was that held his thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was
So
empty except for that, if I remember
yeah.
the person talking.
So if we could go there, we could get it, and maybe we could fix it.
That's actually a very interesting proposition.
It's an interesting proposition, and I'm not saying
Not now, not now. I'm sorry. I just
Oh, I never thought you meant
No.
now. And I'm not saying that we shouldn't do it. Something tells me if we fix it, he's just going to want that on top of whatever else he's getting.
maybe, but it would give you something to like hold over him, to control him, to maybe get him to go where you want him to go.
Perhaps.
Get him to
That's
work
if we
with
can
us.
get That's if we can get
Oh, get him to work with us. That would be even better.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if there's enough money in the world to do that, but
I
it'd be
don't
certainly
think
interesting
there
to try.
is.
Well,
I think there are only a few kinds of capital in the world. There's financial capital, there's social capital, there's time. And ensuring that he doesn't control any of those is the way that you limit the power of someone trying to control all of those things.
Yes, well, the Sun Dapodas are the center of commerce for the world. Everything reaches from either here or reaches to here or from here. So I suppose if he has the power to control a strong enough pirate fleet, he could control all lines of trade.
Mm-hmm.
Lauren just wants to double check something that I'm trying to remember correctly.
Gotcha.
All of the other books on the Isle of Dreams, except for Fairlos's, was taken.
Yeah.
And Fairlos's can't be opened. So there shouldn't be any way for anyone to use the island to broadcast dreams at this moment, right?
Okay. As far as you know,
As far as we know. Okay.
those things you just said are true. As far as you know.
As far as we know. I think, yeah. Okay. So I think with Captain Saxon here, Fairless is not going to say anything, but that's going to be rattling around in her head.
I mean, the idea of him, like, you're right. He can't get the book open. You watched him try a bunch of times, like a fucking idiot. But also, if you leave him there for weeks or months, who knows what he figures out?
I don't
who
know
knows
if he
who he
get...
brings in to figure it out.
Yeah, and I can't remember whether, if there's another way to do the broadcasting of the dreams, and if that's another outlet for him, and if belief is all you need to make reality a reality, and crypto is all about I believe that it exists and thus it exists, and you could be in people's dreams, and now Lauren has gone down a horrific monster category.
It's okay, Lauren. You don't need to sleep tonight.
No, I didn't need to sleep tonight. But yeah, when
The cryptomancer.
The cryptomancer.
I don't.
God.
No, that's a new
Crypto
subclass.
keeper.
It's the worst subclass. Yeah, when Captain Saxon is gone, Fairlos will. We think this.
She doesn't have much of a reason to stick around after the legend lore, other than the conversation you were having. So if Peter's out, she'll leave.
Okay, then yeah, she'll lay that out. This is what we think, but we should probably be very cautious about the stuff that he is grabbing, because if he has figured out the other stuff that he can do on that island as far as reaching into people's dreams, that could be way more dangerous than stealing a bunch of chips of gold.
Agreed. Wait,
It's fair.
just to clarify, we're alone now, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Caradig's still with you.
Right.
But it's just crew.
it's just
It's just
us.
you four and Caradig.
On the ship where we should be protected from being able to talk.
So, reality is fake.
What?
You know what? She's not here. I feel like for this conversation, Esco would definitely be casting Moriarty's Circle of Trust.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, that happens. So you are literally
Thank you.
unscribable.
In a protected bubble.
Unlistenable, unscribable, everything.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm
Rib
sorry,
would
what
have
was
asked
that?
for that kind of thing.
What's that?
What was that, Rivulet?
So, the reality we were in disappeared back when we were in the temple, melted away, and I had a lovely conversation with a computer that's constructing this reality named Synthra.
Oh.
By the way, Caradig, you're constructing the reality and you have a name other than your own in a reality which is outside of that reality.
Oh, okay.
We're 4 layers deep. We're all dreaming this reality. Apparently I designed this as a training exercise. And we have to learn to reshape the world around us and become more powerful, because we're going to be awakened in mechanical bodies to go do things. soon.
Mechanical bodies.
Oh, and every inanimate object is a living creature. So there's that as well.
Are you okay?
No, I'm not okay.
I'm starting to understand why you've been so quiet.
Fearless just looks at her hammer.
So, nothing's real.
No, nothing's real. I mean, there is reality, but it's several layers outside of this reality. I mean, there are realities within realities in the same way that dreams are realities
Uh-huh.
when you're in them.
This
And
is-
I explain everything that I was told. I relay that whole conversation.
Oh,
So does this
About
mean...
10 minutes in, Tallulah just pulls out a flask and takes a pull from it, like without looking away from Rivulet. You just kind of see her brain just break. And she just pulls the flask out, drinks, and kind of holds it out without looking at anybody.
So the Civil War should have been a peaceful revolution. It's not. Something is wrong there. There's something with the pirates, and there's a goddess. The goddess of award-winning musical theater is not supposed to be out, but is apparently. So
Award-winning musical theater.
yes,
Right.
Is this computer you were talking to the same one that has the crypto?
I don't know.
That's an interesting question.
Is this computer you were talking to the same one trying to write our narrative?
Possibly.
is it the same one that's talking to Essequa?
Ugh.
Possibly.
Oh. Oh, that's fun.
Huh.
That's fun. I love it. That's great. This just icing on the damn cupcake.
Rivulet, make a persuasion check.
Okay.
For a second, I thought there was going to be a saving throw.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, oh,
No.
God, here we go.
Oh, not good at all. 7.
So Caradi hasn't been with you guys for very long,
Mhm.
and like you trust him, but like you're asking him to believe some wild stuff.
Yeah,
And
he
you're
hasn't seen what
not-
we've seen.
Yeah, and he hasn't seen what you've seen.
Yeah.
You get the feeling he might be a little like he's not sure. Like he believes you believe it.
Mm-hmm. So here's the thing. We're going to be going into Brescia. We're going to be kicking a hornet's nest. And you're saying that none of it's real and it's just things we've dreamed up.
Well, it's real in that we are thinking through this. Our minds are experiencing this. It is training us for
So,
something else.
We're sleeping.
Yes.
Can we lucid dream?
Well, that's what we're doing, I think.
Oh, this is a lucid dream then. Well, let's see.
It's a shared dream, though.
If nothing is real, then the meaning of real is meaningless. And there is no real? No above or below? I feel like.
Well, when we create an illusion
Right.
with magic. So let's ignore
Yeah.
things I've just said. Let's take this as reality. When we create an illusion, is that real or is that not real?
I mean, it depends on how advanced the illusion is, I guess. There are some illusions that are real. to some degree of reality, I guess, and some that aren't. They're just
You would look
like,
at it and think it's real, right?
right, yeah,
From a distance.
sure,
But if you went up and touched it, if you interacted with it in the wrong way,
right.
that illusion of reality would dissolve.
I guess it depends on what you consider to be, like, what aspect of experience is necessary for something to be real, right? As you're saying, touch, obviously, that's one of the senses, but you also have other senses, and if those other
But that's why I
senses are being
said
stimulated,
you look at something and
yeah,
it could be real.
yeah, right. Yeah, if you look
But
at it, you hear
from a
it,
distance.
you smell it, there's other senses beyond the traditional five. I mean, yeah, but if you just because you can't touch something doesn't mean it isn't real. So I get what you're saying. Yeah.
I don't think it matters.
I'm going to spend a lot of time thinking about this.
I there's
Regardless. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
there's only so much I can control anything outside of myself. All that matters is what I do about it. It's the only thing I can control. And so in the end, it doesn't matter what is real and what isn't real. What matters is how I react to it and what I do
And what you care about.
and what I care about.
Agreed. What we are, all of that, but also there is a pressure on us to
But to like
learn here.
to like troubleshoot inside the problem to fix this
Yes.
this thing with the rebellion and whatever with the pirates and whatever with this goddess you were talking about.
Yes.
Which, with the exception of the goddess, which we were just learning about, but everything else, we were going to do anyway. Because that's who we are.
Mm-hmm.
We may need to move faster than we have been.
Well, we'll try our best to move as fast as we can. But I don't see how this changes too much. It's good to know. It's an interesting concept, but this is why I think the people who follow the God in the heart are not philosophers, and when they are, they fail miserably at being a follower of the God in the heart because none of that is the thing that matters. They all got too caught up in trying to figure out who was the dreamer and who was doing the dreams and who was controlling things and who was what the meaning of reality was and whether it meant anything and what level it was and all of that kind of stuff that brought us on this path. But in the end, none of it really matters because I can't control anything except what I can do. And at this moment, what I can do is help all of you try to fix what's going on with Brescia.
But doesn't it having an understanding of how the world works change at all how you interact with it? For example, now that we understand that every object is a living being outside of this world, we understand why all of these beings have sentience, why all of these objects are sentient, and why magic works the way it does with them.
No, I don't think it changes very much. I don't know if it would change anything because I still care about the people I care about and I care about the things that I care about and I will do what I can with the abilities I have.
Fair.
from a scientific standpoint, that actually does matter quite a lot, but that's not important for this conversation.
Riv, I think they picked someone very wise to be the dreamer.
Mhm.
And it's a good thing
I'm
that
not, but there are many of us who are dreamers, apparently.
You said this was, you did an exercise for us?
Yes, this is apparently a training device, a tool to train our minds.
To
Is
what
that the
end?
purpose, or is that just what it's
Things-
being used for
Right.
now?
I don't know.
Right.
perhaps both.
It was a fairly brief conversation in the relative scheme of things, but
I don't
Right.
know. I feel like I don't know. I don't
Feel like
like
what?
it.
What were you saying? I'm sorry.
Hmm?
Kara, what
I
were you
said
saying?
I don't like it.
I don't either. Not even a little bit.
Why is that?
Well, I mean, what happens? There's so many. I've got so many questions, but and I don't like the answers that it implies. Like, what happens to people when they die? What happens to like who's real and who's not real? I guess everybody matters, but like, is it trying to tell me that there are people that matter more than other people? That doesn't. I don't ascribe to the worldview that says that my my nephew is somehow less than because he's not a dreamer or whatever.
I
Mhm.
don't think that's the implication.
Right, but it does imply some level of stratification to the people inside, right? Like if you're helping design it.
No, I don't think so, because I think there could be an infinite number of these scenarios being dreamt by people who exist just as, other individuals or as inanimate objects in this world who could be dreaming their own worlds
Hmm.
elsewhere.
But you said
in
that
which we are.
the guy said that they were being paused because he didn't have the processing power to run everybody all at once.
There's no reason that that doesn't rotate, or different people aren't activated at different times.
Also,
I don't think there's quite the hierarchy of these are the people with value and these are the people who don't have value. I don't
And
think
am I
that's what's happening.
programmed to feel like I do about the people I care about? Am I
honestly, all of these questions that you have are the same questions people have been grappling with all their lives without knowing that this could be a simulated computer program inside of a computer program.
Yeah, but it makes it feel more real. Or less real? I don't know.
Why not both?
Welcome to where I've been living for the last day.
I'm gonna go lay down. I need a nap.
Yeah. That sounds like a grand idea.
You have been very busy over the last 10 and a half hours. I think a sleep would be a good thing for you.
Here's what I've landed on, Kara. This is information. It exists. Information is neutral. How we use it is what changes things.
Hmm.
But the things that we decide to do here are the things we decide to do.
I have
How
an
we
idea.
behave. All
I'm
right.
gonna go get some sleep.
Sounds excellent.
Oh, that sounds like a
When
grand
I get
idea.
up, I have an idea, and I'll need your help, Riv. I think.
All right.
Yes. I'm gonna go sleep on it. I have an idea. I have an idea, and he just kind of like wanders off, almost zombie like.
Yeah. So,
And now we get to wonder, what does that imply for dreams in this world?
mhm.
Just have a good sleep. Make sure you let us know about your idea before you actually do it, please. Thank you.
Mm.
Well, I mean, if this is a dream, and you already said we're what, 4 levels in?
think
Sure.
yes.
So why
Because
not?
it's here and then the computer. And then the computer was created by an outside force. Am I missing a level, Sim? It was 4 levels deep, right?
Reality is the one in which the computer exists, because the computer exists in the what was. I'm trying
yeah.
to say this without giving too much information away. The computer exists. It is simulating this world. That's 2 layers. There is the fact that he went back at some point and simulated the entire universe to draw creative minds out of, which technically implies that there may be a version of your world in that world as well. Because in order to simulate the whole universe, he'd need to simulate himself and himself simulating the whole. Anyway, point is, you don't know how many layers deep you are.
Jesus.
So if we're
Okay.
already that deep, why not another layer when we dream?
What's the harm?
Thank you, Riv.
This has been a lot today.
And yesterday.
Yeah.
Have you figured out who you want to be yet?
No. I think that's gonna take a little while.
Tallulah, Manon, Dominique, Joni.
Yes.
Would you like to perhaps go speak with Dominique today
Yeah, actually.
in the
Hey.
time you have available?
I'm going to I'm gonna go see if I can talk to Dom.
Do you want to do that by yourself, or you like some backup?
I think the first time I see her, I'd like to see her one-on-one. If you don't mind. We have a little catching up to do.
I'd say more than a little, especially depending on whether she knew who you really were or not.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of the big question right now. But I owe her an apology too, so. I'll be back if you don't mind. And I will make my way to I'm gonna head back to the manor.
That's
The
right.
palace, whatever the
Yeah, the
correct
Palace
term for it
de
is.
Hombres.
Yes.
Yeah, so you go through you in order to find out where Dominique is, you probably have to ask somebody. Pascal is at the entrance if you wanted to ask
Perfect,
him.
yeah. She'll come walking up. Pascal. Appreciate your help earlier getting us here.
Yes, of course. Did you want to speak with the Duke or
I'm actually wondering if Dominique is available.
she is? She is here. She came through the portal to here, and she has gone to, I believe, one of the nearby archaeological digs.
All right. I don't suppose you could point me in a direction.
Sure. And he points to so when you go through the portal, you end up in, as we mentioned before, in some other place, like way different air pressure, way different humidity. It's definitely very far away wherever it is.
Got it.
And he points to one of the exit doors and just says, if you go out that door, and then head east, just head straight out that door, and you should see some bluffs and rocks, and possibly you will see some wooden fences and gates from the door. Just keep going until you reach it, and then ask for directions to the dragon excavation.
Okay. Thank you.
Of course.
And I will toss him a gold as I walk.
Oh, don't worry. I've made so much money off of you.
Oh, good, I think. Well, we'll go with good. And
Yes.
I appreciate the help, Pascal. Thank you. How'd you wind up in this lot?
And my family is pledged as originally were pledged as men at arms to the House of Jameau,
Ah,
and I have slightly risen in the ranks. He knighted me several years ago, and we are hoping to serve as one day perhaps get property of our own.
I wish you the best of luck. Maybe something will work out and you'll meet that goal.
Okay. Well, thank you very much,
Thank
and
you.
thank you for the gold
Oh, you're
that
welcome.
I have earned at at various wages that I have placed on your performance.
Oh, so we're paying off well then?
Extremely,
Excellent. Oh, that's good to know. That's happy. I'll catch you later, all right?
of course.
Thanks.
It doesn't take long for you to be directed to the dragon excavation.
Mm-hmm.
And I will move you to that map. Go ahead and get you over there.
Ooh, neat. Yeah, let me grab myself. Boop. So I'm guessing I'm going to be coming in from up here?
Yes.
Okay. Tallulah will make her way down that direction. And
Yeah.
is there anybody else around? Like is the area
Oh, the plate. There's workers, in and out sort of deal.
Okay. Um she will just kind of make her way and just kind of uh glance around looking to and hoping she spots Dominique first.
You do spot her. She is currently directing a couple of the workers, as they are currently working with a gosh, they've picked up a book of some kind. It's covered in tar.
Mm-hmm.
But they have started working on cleaning it, and she has actually opened it up to take a look on the inside.
Mm-hmm.
She's currently like just thumbing through it, trying to find information about just find information in the book currently. She doesn't notice you necessarily.
She's kind of absorbed.
Yeah.
Okay. Tallulah will make her way over to her, trying not like sneaking, but she wants to get close enough to say hi while maintaining like a respectful distance.
Of course. Maybe one moment.
So
Yeah, man.
there we go. So she'll kind of come walking up. Hey, Dommy.
What? Oh, one moment. And then she looks up at you. Hello.
You got a minute?
Sure, I suppose. I was trying to find. I just found the name of this dragon, and I was in a good mood because of it.
Is it? What's its name?
It says here that it seems to have died sometime, 600 years in the past. Its name is Sagaroth, the Secret Keeper.
That's not possible.
And that's where we're going to end our session.
Oh! That's interesting.
He's got a twin.
There's just twins everywhere. It's a
Dun,
very
It's
fertile
spelled-
world.
It's spelled differently. They're homonyms, but different Sargaroth the Secret Keeper.
This Sagaroth has an apostrophe in the middle.
This one is
and-
spelled with
yeah.
a P at the beginning. P.S.
We have a
Sagarov.
PS,
Yes.
PSAR. We have a TSAR.
Yes,
Uh,
yes.
We have a
CSAR.
SAR.
CDAR.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we got all sorts of
Yep.
things going on here. Yay! Oh my god, I want to know about this. And now I have to wait a week.
Seriously.
So not cool.
Oh.
Oh, it's so good.
Wait, is there a little pince nez in this image? I need a look.
I don't believe so. No.
There is not, but that would be amazing. And Sim, if you want me to Photoshop one on, I totally will.
The pince nez. We're lost
Yes.
time.
I'm just gonna add like a decoration to the overlay with it.
What if Sargaroth is a lich and that's their
Why, Jen? Why?
I mean, the
Why
crypto
would you
bro,
put that
we
in the
already-
world?
Because crypto bro, because we're
We
talking
are-
necromancers
Yeah.
already. And
Right? Right? Like, I
Well,
wouldn't be
and there
surprised.
is that.
That's just the worst place to store your soul is in little teeny
There's the
Hogsmeade.
Dark Lich. And he's a black dragon.
True. True.
I thought
Mhm.
the Dark Lich though was with the book hole.
Yeah, no, the Dark Lich is totally separate. I was
He's
just
got
being
his
a
own
goober.
separate plot with the book hole. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was
No,
just being a goober.
Yeah, I don't know. The something might be going on with that time-based palace that you guys
Yeah.
were fiddling around with.
Yeah, just maybe.
I mean, we haven't fiddled around with anything. We've just walked in and out. So
You guys haven't
That's
fiddled
true.
around with it. Yeah, that's true.
unless walking in and out counts as fiddling.
Gosh, we're
Pharaoh's
gonna
ain't
have to do
touched
time travel and time paradoxes. Oy.
Yep.
Oy.
I'm just gonna throw this back on. It's okay. I got us. We can do it. I got the scarf. Let's go.
I can't help myself. Science fiction is in my blood.
It's so
Um,
good. God, this
Let
is long.
me get my thingy bobber here open. There we go. Let's go to credits.
Yeah.
Cartography by Shan Peku. Cartography by Shan Peku Sci-Fi. Maps by Luke Stratton. Maps by Eightfold Paper. Music by Tabletop Audio. Character tokens by Greek 46. Custom tokens by Shan Peku Tokens. Overlay art by Packstream. Custom world map by Freckles Sketches. And logo and character art by Luke McCay. Special thanks to our moderators, Billith and Strike Redkite. Katie.
Hey, how's it going? My name is Katie Downey, aka Goblin Katie. I am your friendly neighborhood ginger shenanigator. You can find me on all the socials at Goblin Katie. On Blue Sky, I am at goblinkatie.com. I am going to be doing a couple conventions in the next couple weeks. I've got MomoCon coming up in 2 weeks here in Atlanta, and that is at the Georgia World Conference Center. That is the weekend of the 23rd. I apologize. It's in 2 weeks. Weekend of the 23rd, 24th, and 25th. I'll be doing panels and all sorts of fun stuff and running games. So you should come out and see me. And then, yeah, I think that's it for me. Big shout out to our mods, Strike and Billith again. And make sure you use that code and get your free stuff. Because what's the best stuff? Free stuff. And that's it for me.
Hi, I'm Lauren Urban. You can find all the stuff I'm doing at lauren-urban.com. I've got a convention coming up, but it's not until next month. If you happen to be going to Origins Game and Toy Fair, I will be there. Yay! With WizKids. It'll be fun, but that's not till next month. You can also find me earlier on Sundays over on the Dungeon Scrawlers channel playing through Baldur's Gate 3. We're deep in Act 3. We're getting towards the end of it. I don't know what I'm going to do after I'm done playing Baldur's Gate 3. It's going to
Aw.
be sad, but we're having fun. And if you want more Baldur's Gate content, you can come see me on Fridays on the Crit Hit Chronicles channel, where Shadows over Baldur's Gate is happening, where I'm playing a dragonborn ranger / rogue named Udazash, who's a problem child in all the ways, and she's fun. I think recently I described her as a walking, I can't believe that this is something I have to say. She is ridiculous and it's amazing. So that's it. The time zones. Yeah, go to Crit Hit Chronicles, the Blue Skies, and you can see there, or just go to my website, lauren-urban.com. It's all there. Thank you.
Hello, I am Jen Kretschmer. You can find me on the interwebs as Dreamwisp, on Blue Sky as dreamwisp.bisky.social, on Twitch as DreamWispJen. It is the last week of Humblewood to Beyond the Canopies Kickstarter. Please check it out. It's a book I worked on, and it's really fun. And there's cool stuff. So yeah, go take a look. And that's
Yay.
it.
And it has been a pleasure. I don't have an outro yet, so try not to die, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.